Hey everyone, this is Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. Once again, it's time to do the monthly fails and faves. These are no particular order and just some of the products that either really impressed me or really disappointed me during this month. Number one is this Rio, or is it Rio? Correct me in the comments if I'm saying it wrong, but it's a hair loss expert care treatment for root strength. It's a huge bottle that looks like this, and it's basically a conditioner type product that focuses on the scalp, and you apply it after washing your hair. It can be applied from the scalp all the way to the ends, and it's supposed to make your hair stronger and prevent or reduce hair loss. I just have to give my little disclaimer that if you're experiencing sudden or severe hair loss, you should go see a doctor, but these products sometimes can be a nice little treat as well. I have a bit of a mixed feelings about this. I do like it in a sense that it definitely makes my scalp feel refreshed. It has this interesting refreshing feeling while you're using it. It's not quite a minty tingle, but it's definitely a little bit of like a warm sensation that's really nice and pleasant. And it does seem to make my fine hair look a little bit more voluminous. The one thing I don't love about this is the scent. It has a very strong herbal scent, and that wouldn't be a big deal. However, it lingers. I've used this now many times, and I can't tell if I'm just getting more used to the scent or if it's actually fading a little bit, but the very first time I used it, I noticed how strong it was, and then the very next day I went to my physical therapy session and I kept thinking, like, are they burning some sort of incense here? Like, what is this smell? I even asked my therapist if he could smell it and he said no. And then for one part of the session I had to let my hair down, and as soon as I took my hair elastic out and the hair kind of moved, I could just get a whiff of my own hair, and that's what I've been smelling this whole time. It was this. It smells the way some ginseng products smell, so if that's not your jam, definitely avoid this one. But as far as giving some volume to the roots and not overwhelming the scalp, not making anything greasy, I do like how it works, and it's also a really big bottle, so that's kind of nice. This one is a huge fail. It's the Ohui Sun Stick. At least it's a fail for me. I have combination skin with some oily zones like the T-zone and then some dry areas. I'm loving sun sticks at the moment for reapplication, especially before I take my son out for a walk, which is almost every day if it's nice. And usually I stick with more affordable sun sticks. I've had Cynic, I have Isntree, I have McPrem. They're not necessarily cheap, but they're pretty okay priced. This one is definitely more of a luxury brand, so I was so excited to try it, and it looks beautiful. Look at it. It's kind of semi-clear. You can see through it. It has this amber color. It smells absolutely wonderful. It smells like perfume. I love it. What I don't like is how it lingers on the skin. It goes on completely clear, doesn't leave a white cast, but it feels like a balm, and that balmy feeling of having something on your skin does not go away. It does not absorb, and it just feels like I'm slugging. I mean, if you're not familiar, slugging is putting an occlusive layer of something like Vaseline, petroleum jelly product on before bed to seal in all of the layers. That is fine before bed. I don't want that during the day, and this gives me that feeling during the day. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody with very dry skin has a completely opposite experience and really loves it. For me, it's just not a win. And again, you can't really see it on the skin, but if I touch my skin afterwards, even an hour after, I can still feel that weird sheen, and it still leaves this weird kind of shiny finish on my fingertips even. So I've been using it on my neck and just kind of trying to find some uses for it, but it's definitely not my favorite by any means. I do, however, have a huge sunscreen win this month as well, and it's a Japanese sunscreen called Anessa. I've been wanting to try this for a long time. It is also on the pricier side. It has a wonderful texture. It's almost liquid, but it's not runny, and my skin just drinks it right up. It goes on beautifully, has this natural finish. It's not oily and it's not drying. There's no white cast, at least on me. Take that with a grain of salt, I'm so fair, but there are some things that leave a white cast even on me, but this one does not, and it does have a floral scent that some people find very strong. I don't mind it at all. It does linger. I don't notice it when I just go about my day, but if I'm specifically looking for it and I touch my skin and then smell my fingers, I do still pick up that floral fragrance, but it doesn't bother me because the finish is just so beautiful. It doesn't irritate my eyes, it doesn't dry out anything, it also doesn't turn into this shiny, oily mess the way some sunscreens do throughout the day, so it's an absolute win. My only wish would be that it was a little bit cheaper. I do have some discount codes and stuff like that with different vendors that I always put at the bottom of my description boxes, so you can check those out if you're shopping, but still, it's not the most affordable option, definitely, but it's so, so nice. The next fail is this I'm Meme Pep Balm. I'm not going to demo it here because it's going to be a mess, but I do have a review on my blog that I'll put a link in the description box, and you can see what it looks like out of the tube and on the lips. It's actually not a bad formula as far as application. It goes on kind of like a balm, and it produces this lovely, beautiful color that is semi-matte or maybe more on the matte side, and it's not drying. But the reason that it's a fail for me is because of the packaging. So this is cute looking. It does stand out among some of the other balms. It's meant to look like a little paint tube, and it does that. However, you have to apply it with your fingertip, and that makes it to where I can't take it outside of the house because the color in here is this reddish brick color. It does stain my fingertips. I do need to wash my hands afterwards, and even if I didn't, I don't want to touch my lips with my hands unless I wash them first. So that's not really a great on-the-go product, and when I published my review for this, that's kind of the feedback that I got from a lot of people as well, that they're struggling with the same exact issues. It's also meant to work as a blush. I haven't tried that because this is a pretty deep red, and on my face I'm afraid that it's going to look like I just dipped my face into a can of paint. But if you are into brighter blushes, that might work as well, but for me right now it's just a lip product, and only when I'm right about to leave the house I can't unfortunately take it with me. The next win is this History of Whoo Radiant White Sun BB SPF 45 PA+++. It's a BB cream. It is so wonderful. I am not a huge makeup person. Most of the time in my everyday life, I don't even use any foundation product whatsoever. I just put on sunscreen and then top it off with a little bit of either translucent or slightly shaded powder, but I don't have any desire or any time in the mornings to put on actual makeup. This is as close to feeling like there's no makeup on my skin as it gets for me, but it still makes everything look more even, and it camouflages some of the imperfections really nicely. I'm actually wearing it right now. It is a very liquid formula. It has this little nozzle dispenser thing here that works really well, but you basically pour a little bit on your hand and then apply it. I apply it with fingertips. You could use a sponge. I prefer fingertips because, again, I'm lazy. I don't want to wash sponges, but also I don't want the sponge to absorb any of this. This is, again, a fancier brand and a little bit of a fancier price point, so I want to make sure that I am using every drop on my skin and not just feeding my sponge with it. But it's just such a nice product. It has this wonderful natural finish, not drying but also not dewy. I'm not into dewy at all, but it still doesn't make my face look flat and so matte that it's aged. Sometimes really matte makeup can make us look a little bit older than we are, and I feel like this does a really good job. You can still see like a little bit of my other products, like my other skincare coming through with a little bit of this, I would like to call it a glow. So it's a very lovely BB cream, and the SPF in it I would say is just an added bonus. I would not rely on this alone for sun protection because you'd have to apply so much of that. To get the stated SPF plus, of course, we always have to apply SPF to the neck, the ears, sides of the neck, around the eyes, all those kinds of things, and I don't typically put makeup in all of those areas. So just a little PSA about that, but as a makeup product, it is absolutely lovely. And last but not least, by popular demand, I had to try this product because everybody's talking about it, and even though I don't actually watch K-dramas very much, I had to check out a couple just because of this product. Everybody in my Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics, it seems, has been asking about it. And this is the Kahi Soul Wrinkle Bounce Multi-Balm with Jeju Origin Oil. It looks like this. This has been all over Instagram, all over YouTube. Lots of big creators have been talking about it, and then of course they have a very successful marketing campaign in the K-drama world. It's a multi-purpose balm. It can be pretty much applied all over the face, and there are different ways you can use it. I think in K-dramas, they seem to sort of dab it on even during the day. Again, I don't watch K-dramas very much, but I've just been seeing what people say about this. I have very mixed feelings about this product, and if I had to choose if it's a win or a fail, if there was no gray area, I'm leaning more toward a fail, and here's why. I could find some uses for this, and I did. So the way that I use this is at night only, and I would do kind of like zone slugging with it. So I would put some on the areas of my face that I want to lock in a little bit of extra moisture. I put it under the eyes, sometimes I put it on the nasolabial folds. I use adapalene gel, which I have a whole video about that. It's a over-the-counter retinoid that can be very drying, and so I often see it advised by dermatologists online to apply a little bit of Vaseline or something like that around your eyes and in the corners of the nose before applying adapalene or tretinoin to protect those areas. So I can do that with this balm. It smells absolutely amazing. It just smells so good. Different from the sunscreen that I showed, the sunstick that I didn't like, but in that same realm of it smells more like expensive perfume than a skincare product, and I absolutely love that. But during the day, for me, this is absolutely not usable. My skin just does not need that level of nourishment throughout the day, because if I apply this, first of all, it disturbs the sunscreen that you have on, so you have to reapply the sunscreen on top of that. So now you're having two products that you're layering, and my skin being combination and having oily zones, I just don't need as much layering throughout the day. Actually, the fewer layers for me, sometimes the better, especially now that we are moving into the warmer seasons. So it's a nice product. It is expensive. It is, depending on where you buy it, $35 to $40, so definitely not a cheap thing. And I feel like there are all these other cheaper things that can do the same thing. Do they smell as nice? No. But is this something that I can't live without? No. And I feel like for something this fancy and this expensive, I shouldn't sit there and try to figure out ways to use it. If it's something this pricey and I'm going to justify buying it, it needs to be something that seamlessly works its way into my skincare routine and something that I just absolutely adore, and it just works wonderfully for me, and I can just not see myself living without it. And this isn't it. Is it nice? Yes. If another one fell into my lap, would I use it? Yes. Am I going to keep using this one? Yes. But will I go and spend my own hard-earned money to get a second one of this when I run out? I don't think so. That's all I have for you today. Let me know what your fails and faves are, or if you tried any of these products. And of course, as always, if some of my fails are your faves, please don't take it personally. We're all different, and it's totally okay to love things that didn't work for me or dislike things that I love. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. We are at 70,000 members now and growing, and I would love to have you there if you're not a member yet. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much. Bye.